Thank you for coming on back to the JP Lopez Show. Eric Big Head Davila, Lubbock's champ. I was honored and blessed to have him on the show. Got to pick his brain a little bit, and he blew my mind. He is a MMA fighter that is toying with the idea of coming out of retirement for bare knuckle fights. This guy is awesome. If I had to say one word to describe him, humble. This guy's got championship belts, championship bouts. I mean, he's got a bunch of stuff under his belt. Speaking to him, not knowing him and just meeting him off the streets, you would have never, ever guessed it, that he had that killer mentality in him. But he does. And if you're not familiar with him, I advise you to please look him up on YouTube, Google him, because he is a bad mamma jamma, and he's this week's guest. Yeah, it was so nice to pick his brain and just hear his thoughts process on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sorry if this is not like your normal episode of the JP Lopez, but I really wanted to spotlight his career and his accolades and just him as himself. And I think we captured that. Stick around because it's a pretty good episode. And thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. If y'all could please help me out, expand my reach, share this episode with a friend, share this episode with someone that hasn't heard the show or isn't familiar with the show. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's the JP Lopez Show.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on!
It's the JP Lopez Show.
Been like, hey, talking and stuff, man, but we see each other at the gym, and it's like, hey, what's up, brother? Or if I
Well,
see you
from
out
the
and about.
Gold's Gym days,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about those days too, man.
Yeah.
Did you have any part in like Bodyworks, or was that your separate own?
So the way that happened, I had moved away in the San Antonio area. Moved my wife closer to her family because she had a cancer. She's a cancer survivor, so she was real sick after our baby that we had together. So at the time we were in Denver, and I was getting managed up there by a guy named Finn Beam from Ring of Fire was a company up there. So I did the whole move to Denver, and I was up there for about 6 months, and then she started getting really, really sick. And then, like I said, we had, at the time, out of the 7 kids we had, 6 of them lived with us. So it was just too much for her,
Yeah.
you know, because I was constantly training or working and always juggled everything. And so it was just too much for her, so I moved her closer. I bit the bullet, told my manager, hey, bro, I gotta move my wife back to Texas with her mom.
With the family.
With the family. I said, I just need the help. He was like, no, big head, you know, man, we're just getting started, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, brother, it's the one thing you know about me. I was like, my family comes first, no matter what. And so if it's meant for me to come back and fight for you and be managed by you, I said, I can find a gym near San Antonio, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a big metropolitan, you know. Plus known for their boxing, because at the time it was, what's his name? God dang it, what is his name? He's a famous boxer, came out. There's a lot that came out of San Antonio, but he actually went like mainstream. So when we moved her down there, I did, man. I scoped out all of San Antonio, South Side San Antonio, went to the bad side San Antonio. They had some boxing schools, but no MMA schools at the time.
Yeah.
No legit ones at that. So then when I went over there, I didn't start boxing. So I actually took almost a 5-year layoff of competing because I was just working and taking care of the family and doing what I had to do.
Damn
and
it, bro.
Yeah. But gracias a Dios that my wife cancer free and got away from that. And,
Heck yeah, man.
Hell yeah. So God is good, man. God is good. So
Yeah, he is, bro. And anytime you beat cancer, anytime I hear a success story, God bless, man.
yes, sir.
Because my pops died of skin cancer, bro.
Oh.
Skin cancer.
Yeah.
Mexicano skin cancer. Yeah, I was just like, how the fuck did that happen? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
It's funny, man. Like I said, a lot of people say about, God does certain things in your life that you can't explain, but you can't question the man. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy is when he passed, I thought I was an atheist. And after he passed, and I say this all the time on the podcast, but I think his dying wish was to have me come back to God.
Yeah.
Because when he passed, I just somehow, some way, found my way back to prayer and asking for prayer, for strength and for guidance. And I was like, where the freak did this come from?
Yeah.
Like, because it was totally not in me until that moment. And then it was second nature.
Yeah.
It was the awakening.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, brother. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people realize what that is. You know what I mean?
So, you still go by Big Head?
Still go by Big Head.
See, I don't know. I didn't know if
Nah,
that's a disrespect now or
No.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a part of me, man. It's kind of self-explanatory. You can see the size. I wear a straight 8, brother. I wear a
He's
straight
like,
8.
he's never got out of a headlock.
Yeah, exactly. That's why, man. I go to Lids or I go to anything. And I'm like, I hate shopping there because I don't do snapbacks because chingao, I'm on the last snap.
Well, bro, I'm right there, man.
Yeah.
I'm 2 sizes from an 8, so
Yeah.
I mean, I got no room to talk.
But I mean,
But-
you look
but
at this is an 8,
yeah.
so it's a snugger. It's snug. It's a little tight way. You can't play with it. But the real reason that nickname came upon me, man, is because, like I said, like I was explaining to you earlier, I didn't have a very good upbringing, and my mom was a single mom. I've learned to, over the past decades, we forgive and forget. God tells you to do a certain thing a certain way, and then it's better for you. A love from afar, and so that's what I learned. But my grandmother and my mom, man, they used to say, "Pinche huerquillo cabezón." Just, it was bad then. It was an insult. I mean, Mexican families.
Yeah.
They get your
Yeah.
hey, vente pa' acá, gordo, vente
Your
pa' acá.
insecurities was your nickname.
Exactly. And I was the pinche huerquillo cabezón with the big head running around with the little body. So when I started fighting, man, everybody's like, "Oh, let's call you Pitbull. Let's call you this." And I was like, I just ain't feeling that,
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Pinche huerquillo cabezón, big head. And I was like, let's keep it at that, big head. They're like, big head, really? You're gonna come out to that? And like you said, everybody thinks like it's an insult. To me, it's not that, man. I mean, I said that I'm gonna earn my nickname if I'm gonna make this a career and make something positive out of it.
Yeah.
And so I had kids, I had family, people wearing my shirt with big head and beanies with big head and big head. So it was a good thing that came out of it, and I still keep it to this day. Like, I'm the market manager at HEB, right? So all these younger kids, the younger generation, I just want to punch them in their suckhole because I was like, God damn, they're different. It's different, and so they're like, you used to fight, huh? Blah blah blah. My dad, and my mom used to say this and da da da. And say what's up to Big Head. And I was like, man, you can call me Big Head if you want. They're like, oh man, I feel like I'm insulting you. I was like, why? I was like, it's been my nickname for decades, brother. So you ain't gonna insult me. So that's how that came about.
Eric Big Head Davila, man, thank you for coming, man. That's this week's guest. I'm so honored, and I'm truly excited for this episode. Thank you for coming, bro.
I appreciate you for having me.
And I wanted to legit. So, what is 04, 05 is UFC still not what it was. They were on a Friday pay-per-view, every now and again sprinkled pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And that seems like the era that you got you're in the shit.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I would consider you an OG of fucking MMA, bro.
Yeah, I am. I'm not the very much OG, but I'm pretty close. I mean, my first fight, it was tournament style, 3 fights in one night, no rounds, 15 minutes straight. 5-minute overtime.
No rounds, bro.
No rounds. Straight 15.
And
no
then
weight
that's
division.
the first fight. And then you got, if you win,
You
two
go on
more.
to go- two more.
So
And
did they go to scorecards with that?
Yeah, I mean, they had scorecards. They still do it the same way, but like I said, it was a straight 15. My very first fight, like I explained my whole birth certificate thing and how old I was. I was 17 in real life, but 18 for fake. My first guy was 254 pounds. I already had 3 fights underneath his belt, and I was, like I said, I was just a state champ wrestler here from Lubbock, from the barrio. Then you had a street fight a little bit, and then I moved to Amarillo, and I saw this. This is how it all got started. I moved to Amarillo with my wife now, and she was pregnant with our baby, our youngest. And I go into a Toot and Totem, and I saw this flyer, and it looked like dudes like throwing down like UFC. And I asked the clerk, I'm like, hey, are these guys? Is that fake wrestling shit? I went like that, and she goes, no. She was like, those guys, they get down, they kick each other's ass. I said, for real? I said, like the cage stuff? They're like, well, it's in the ring. She goes, I don't know too much about it, but those dudes whip each other's ass. I went to one. So I was like, hey, give me 2 front row tickets. So I thought my vieja gorda and all.
Bro, that,
was like,
not to cut you off, but that says a lot. You went to Toot and Totem to buy tickets to
yeah, that's way back in the day, brother. You're right.
That's what I remember. Totem was about in Amarillo when they were opening them here. I said, man, I hope it ain't that ghetto ass shit.
Yep. Ghetto ass Amarillo. I'm telling you, I lived there for about 8 years, brother. But man, I went and front row tickets, and I was watching these guys just fucking throw down, and it was a tournament, and my wife was there. She's like, "When the hell are you bringing me to? Like, what the fuck is this?" I was like,
It's your future.
At the time she didn't know. I was like, brother, I used to watch like UFC 1, UFC 2. Where there was that big Samoan
with no weight
classes,
yeah.
And got kicked in the mouth and teeth flying out, and I just immediately fell in love with it, man. And so when we were there, we saw these guys, man. They were fit, and my wife is sitting there watching it. And at the time, my one and only coach that I've ever had, he was fighting in the tournament, and man, he fought a guy named Frank Trigg, and y'all probably know who he is because he's been in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's been a ref. He's a ref now. He was a ref actually for that Jake Paul show.
Oh, okay.
So he's a ref now. But man, we were there, and I turned and I looked at her. I said, "Babe," she was like, "What?" I was like, "I want to try this shit." She goes, "You're fucking crazy." She goes, "No fucking way. Look at those guys. 'Cause, I mean, they were cut and ripped." I mean, I wasn't big cut and rip like that, but I wrestled for goddamn from when I was in 5th grade all the way up to my senior
Cut
year.
and rip doesn't mean you can fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Body types don't mean shit when
Yeah.
it comes to fighting. But at the time, I was young, dumb. I didn't know. I was a fan of
yeah.
it. You know what I mean? So what I did after the fights, I started asking around, hey, is there some gyms here, that I'm looking to train and so on and so forth. And I found 2 gyms, and I don't know if y'all remember. He's another West Texas legend too, but up in Amarillo. His name is Paul, the Headhunter Puntello.
I've heard of the name.
He fought in the UFC. He fought Chet Congo. He fought. He got up there.
Okay.
Too. Good friend of mine. But when I first went to his gym, I walked in, and there's just so many egos, and it just wasn't a good vibe. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who's this little mocoso coming into my gym and just like wanting to learn how to fight? Whatever, he ain't shit. So that's the kind of vibe they gave me when I went to that one.
Is that kind of annoying? Because I think that in certain outlets in life, fighting being one, I work in I'll let you know where I work at later, but
Yeah.
I work in a place where it's just a swinging dick contest, bro.
That's all it was.
And for what? You know what I mean? But I'm asking, like, that type of shit, does that get on your nerves? Or because you have these kids that are like really wanting to try and give it their all, and then you got a swinging dick contest just judging them and then not helping them.
Yeah. I mean, back then, brother, like I said, you're young, dumb, full of testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pride thing. It's a machismo thing. I get it now that I'm older and I've been through it. And you know, when I had the gym, I taught a lot of kids and kind of, you know, saw it in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And so, but like even today, I go to the gym where I train at right now, and sometimes you get that little attitude, or somebody wants to test Big Head because Big Head's the viejito, he's the old guy, and it's always a mistake, you know. And they learn, and it's like, okay, shit, well,
Knowing what you know, right? Knowing what you know. There's no doubt Kane got tried in prison, right?
Oh,
Some
most
idiot
definitely.
had to have tried, like,
Most definitely.
right?
Depending if he was in general population. You know, a lot of times it happens when you go to prison and these stars and celebrities go over there, they don't put them in general population. Kind of like when Mike Tyson went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody stupid and ignorant and just don't have the right brain cells, they're going to try you. It doesn't matter. You know,
That's what I said. But a lot of people, when I told that, they were like, "You're stupid." I go, "People are retarded, man."
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at it like this, bro. I mean, this world has all walks of life. And all walks of life have been through different experiences. Some for learning and understanding, like, oh, man, you can't do this with certain people. And then you got the ones that just stay in that mindset. I mean, that's why I look at it today. This generation has a lot of that mindset to where it's straight to the gun. Fighting's not.
No, yeah.
Fighting's not in the deal, and that's their mentality. Even when they go to prison, and nobody's ever taught them, they've never followed somebody to put them in that right
Can't
direction.
take an ass whooping.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are you, from an early age, did you think that you were rewired different? And when I ask that question, I mean, when I see UFC, when I'm renting it at Blockbuster or whatever, UFC 1, 2, I'm in middle school, and it's the craziest shit, and it's very entertaining, but not once did I would think, oh, I'm going to try this shit like you
Right.
did.
Well, man, let me tell you, I was that kid that got picked on. I was the big-headed kid with the small body. I lived in the north side and east side of Lubbock, worst sides of Lubbock that you
Yeah.
can have. I'd have to walk home. I have to get from one place to another. I got picked on. Imagínate. Nobody ever knows this about me. I was in orchestra from 7th grade all the way to my senior year in high
And that
school.
was my shit.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a cool thing like now. You know, you got mariachi, and it's like this chingon, and it's like, God damn, I wish I would have been around in my era, but it wasn't there. So, man, I was
Back
like,
then, it was just gay.
yeah, it was gay. They're like, you're that little gay kid with the big head carrying your little violin. And let's pick on that little fucker. And it's like, you know, of course, you know, back in the day, I mean, I don't know what sides of town y'all grew up.
Well, we
on,
grew
but-
up in Arnett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well,
Yeah.
you know, Northside locals, they
Oh,
always
yeah.
wanted to try to jump you in and.
Yeah,
pick
you
and
couldn't
pick.
go piss in that Cavazos restroom, bro.
Yeah.
I got jumped into Northside every time I went to go piss.
Bro, it's funny you say Cavazos. You make me feel old because, you know, Cavazos was your junior high, man. You know what my junior high was? Matthews.
Yeah.
They just tore that down.
I know.
The very last year Matthews was in effect, that very next year is when I started Cavazos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went up until the last, like that was it, and then
Yeah.
Cavazos, yeah. But I shit you not, bro. Every time you go piss, bop, bop, like, fuck, what the
Yeah.
fuck? And like, you're in Northside now. Like, nah, bitch.
No, I don't want to be in this body. What's wrong with you? I want to go home. Like, you know, that was my mindset. And then, you know, I had, like I said, it wasn't a good home environment, and it's just I just went through a whole lot, brother. I didn't really come out of my shell to probably, I would say, my freshman year in high school, where I just said, fuck it, I ain't gonna put up with nobody's shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of like where I kind of figured I was rewired different, because I mean, I did start wrestling, and that was my niche, that was my go-to. And I remember I wrestled against a guy from, he was part of the Northsiders,
And you went to Lubbock High?
I went to Lubbock High and I went to Coronado. I ended up graduating from Coronado.
But you
'cause-
wrestled for both?
Yeah,
And wrestling was your shit?
wrestling was my shit. That was my anger outlet. That was my whole frustration outlet. I just came to it like a moth to a flame, brother. Like,
Yeah.
it was just something that was good in my life that I just embraced. So
You were always good at fighting?
for wrestling, yes. like I said, I would always get picked on, brother. My first that like I said, I'm just tired of it. My freshman year, it was just like a natural thing, and then I was a good street fighter, ass whooping guy, and they're
Yeah.
like, hey, let's go meet at Aslan Park, or let's go to Maxi Park, or whatever. Me, I got to the point like I said, fuck it, let's go. You know, so I was always fighting at the park after in my high school years. So um, knocking people out, and I mean, I never knew people could get knocked out till I just started swinging. And then wrestling and ground and pounding, they're like, no, don't wrestling, none of that bullshit. Da, da, da. You know how they say,
Come on.
back
Yeah.
then they didn't figure that was a fight. You know, they don't understand that in a fight everything goes.
Anything, yeah.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
But back in my day, it was like, nah, stand up, stand up, stand up, let me up. So everybody would pull you apart, you know, stand up, and there it goes again. Here I go, just throwing a couple of hands and pick you up and slam the shit out of you, and then beat the hell out of you when you're on the ground. So yeah, it still wasn't the nickname Big Head back then, like I said, how that came about. But that's kind of how I fell in love with the sport of fighting, man. I've always been a fan of boxing. Cesar Chavez is my favorite senior. Then, of course, here came crazy ass De La Hoya.
Yeah.
At the time when he was legit, man. And then the drugs got a hold of him. He started doing crazy stuff.
Even with the drugs, even with his, cancel culture, quote unquote, he's still probably one of my favorite boxers
Yes.
of all time.
Yes.
I mean, he made me feel good every night that he had a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Because I just knew he was going to whoop some ass.
Yeah. It killed me to see him watch old Cesar Senior.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no.
And, that's the passing of the torch, but
Torch.
then you have the old folks that are like, fuck that dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Who inspired you, MMA-wise? Who was your inspiration when you were coming up?
Let me see. At the time, it was Dan Severn.
Oh, wow.
Dan Severn was coming up. He was the guy with the big mustache. He had my kind of style of, at the time, my style of ground and pound and take
Yeah.
you down and just beat the hell out of you. You know, I'd already watched. Like
He always wore the black chones, right?
yeah, the black joint is like the wrestling
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So, what surprised me is that like it's where we go with body types. You know, I watched the old ones where 1 through probably 5, and then he came into the deal and he was just pounding the shit out of Hoist. Hoist was great. I didn't know, I was interested in Hoist. He wasn't like a guy who like inspired me, but I was just like super interested in jiu-jitsu, because there was a time jiu-jitsu wasn't even a name that you would think of. You know, you thought of Bruce Lee, you thought of Chuck Norris. But I come from that decade
Yeah.
where karate and kung fu was the thing. You're like, oh shit, I wonder if I could fly through the air and shit like that, you know?
I totally forgot that like karate was a fighting style back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not no more. You know?
No, probably, what was it? Rua was the last one?
Yeah.
Or Machida.
Machida. Yeah. Well, you got guys like Wonder Boy.
Ah, yeah.
Wonder Boy, he's a Taekwondo style type fighter. Had some really effective strikes that come out of it, but like I said, back then nobody knew what jiu-jitsu was. I mean, unless you were just an avid guy of that, a practitioner of jiu-jitsu, you
Yeah.
would know it was the small man's martial arts. And so when you saw Hoist, choking these guys out, big monsters, bodybuilder looking guys like Shamrock, he's jacked. You see him just choking people, big guys who are like 6'4", just looking like linemen, and he's just choking these guys
Yeah.
out in the armbar. You're like, damn, what the hell did he just do?
Yeah, you couldn't see it from TV, right? Like, you have no idea what. He just was like, oh, let me go. You're like, what the fuck was this?
Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
And then, so man, I to be honest, like I said, when I started this and I legitly moved to Amarillo and the Toot and Totem story and went to 2 different gyms. My second gym is where I found my home, which was at the Maverick Boys and Girls Club. Bobo Navarrete had a boxing club up there, and then my trainer, his name was Ali Ilyas. He was from Iran, and he was a 6-time German champ, Division 2 freaking champ. He was, I mean, dude, the guy was phenomenal. But I go up to his deal, and so you would go down a hall, and then to your left was Bobo and all the Silver Gloves gym and all the small kids and stuff like that. And then you go to the right, and you see a bunch of these little kids in singlets, and that was new to me back then. I was like, God damn, look at this little ass 4-year-old and the singlet and wrestling, and that was my love. Like I loved wrestling. That was a big
Wrestling didn't start till 7th grade.
Yeah,
like
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You didn't know back in
Like
up
now.
in northern part of the country, like they're fucking since birth in wrestling.
Yeah, it's the YFL, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Amarillo is the best area of wrestling in the entire state of Texas.
Yes.
And I remember wrestling some of these Amarillo dudes, and I'm on my 7th fight of the season, and they're like, yeah, he's 52-1. I was like, 52 and what the fuck did he start wrestling?
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's exactly the way it was, brother. So I was amazed, man, and it was great. And then I walk into the gym, and I was like, sir, I'm looking for a coach for. I saw the fights, and oh, you want to fight? As he comes up to me, I was like, yes, sir. And he goes, okay, we train at 7:00. You come back. I said, okay, well, shit, I guess I'll come back at 7:00.
I mean, that's dinner time.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, they're training kind of late.
Yeah.
What the hell with it? So, man, I showed up there, and it was real crazy, man, because, like, you think of you think of Evan Tanner. I don't know if y'all remember who Evan Tanner was. Texas great. Unfortunately had a. I mean, you can call it an accident, but once you got to know Evan, you knew where his head was doing. That's where you start meeting different walks of life when it comes to the sport. But he was there. And all these big name guys, all these guys who were in that tournament that I saw were sitting there training, and some of the guys who won those tournaments, I was like, God damn, all these guys that I just watched fight, they're fucking sitting here about to start training with each other. And Ollie goes, okay, you're new. You go with him. Little bitty dripping wet, maybe 125 guy. I looked at him like, really? He was like, yes, you go with him. He'll help you. I was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So I go over there, man, and he's a little guy, and he saw that I had wrestling background. I was taking the kid down and slamming him and stuff, and all of a sudden, kid like a little monkey takes my back. And my wife was there too, with the new baby and in the baby carrier, and he gets his way to my back, and he starts to choke me, and I'm like, oh, he ain't gonna squeeze hard enough. This ain't gonna work. Next thing you know, I'm on my back. I'm looking at the ceiling. My trainer, my coach at the time, is looking at me. He goes, "You okay?" I go, "Uh huh." He goes, "You pass out." I was like,
God damn.
I said, "Uh huh." And then I looked to my left. My wife is crying. Ooh, you were gurgling.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that ain't never happened to me before. But man, like how I tell you, that kind of stuff fascinates me. Like I get up and I sit up, and they're like, "You okay? Take it easy." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." I said, "Hell yeah!" I clap my hands, and I look at the guy, and the guy's freaking out because he's never choked anybody unconscious. And I said, "Come on, bro, let's keep going." And he's like, "No, man." I said, "No, brother, I am not mad."
Getting back on the horse.
Yeah, I said, "Brother, I am not mad."
Yeah, you're here to teach me.
Yeah, I said, "Show me that shit."
Uh-huh.
I said, "Show me that shit," and I was like a sponge, brother. Like within 6 months of training, like hardcore and going in there and rolling with different guys, I became his top student in 6 months.
Nice.
So I started competing, and actually the guy who owned the company that was fighting, it's called USWF Shoot Fighting at the time. His name was Steve Nelson. He went out and rolled with me, and you're talking about a silver medalist in sambo in Olympics. Saw the medal, and that was his thing, and he loved his parents loved the fake wrestling, and he kind of got into the whole entertainment part of it.
Oh, okay.
And the promoting
Yeah.
part. But he actually still fought. And I rolled with him, and he was like, "Son of a bitch, you're a tough motherfucker." He goes, "How old are you?" I said, I lied. I was like, "I'm 18."
Well, on paper,
I didn't want to get into the deep story. To me, I still felt like we did something illegal.
Yeah.
I'm 18. Excuse me. But, yeah, man, he was like, "You want to fight?" I go, "Well," I said, that's the ambition. That's what I'm trying to train for." And he was like, he looked at Ali because at the time, him and Ali went to college together. And he goes, "You think he's ready for a fight?" He goes, "Yeah."
6 months, bro.
6 months.
Damn.
And Ali told him, he goes, "Yeah, he'd be good." And, you know, he had his accent and stuff. And I was like, okay, so shit. I guess
How'd you feel when they said yeah?
I was stoked, brother.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was like, I was like, okay, I was stoked and scared at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what you're stepping into.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everybody. That was one of the main questions to a lot of people that I talked to. Like,
But just to be greenlit, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Like, oh,
Well,
yeah.
you know, you didn't show up to that gym just to patty cake around and, oh, that was fun and hang out with some guys and then go home. You did that so you can actually fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was there for, to learn and do what I got to do. But when it's like, shit, it's actually going to happen. You know, you're like, God damn, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they told me, okay, this is your opponent. He's 254. He's 4-4. He's gonna be your first fight. And I was like, fuck, shit. I was like, okay, I guess. And thankfully that night it was just one bout. It wasn't a tournament because they had a bunch of single fights like on an undercard, and then the tournament would happen. You know, for the guys who've been around the block. And
Back then, first fight, like, was it like in a cuartito? Like,
No,
you know,
it was kind of like here, you know, at the fairgrounds.
Okay.
It was at the fairgrounds in Amarillo. At the time, they didn't have the nice fairgrounds that they had. It was the kind of like our old trashy one that we got here.
So, I mean, it was legit.
It was legit.
Yeah.
And you were weighing what, like 190 or?
No, dripping wet, probably 168 pounds. Yeah.
Man, you're like 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Golly.
So I was like,
Worked
and
him.
then you see the guy, and he looks like a big time redneck guy, bald headed, Southern. Looked like he came out with a flag. He came out with some rocking Southern stuff, and I was like, okay, shit.
The sixth flag or the United States of America flag?
The sixth one, the Dukes of Hazzard one, brother. I mean, I never knew. I was like, God damn. I was like, I'm about to find me a redneck.
It's just some good old boys.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, what you doing? He
Beats all you ever saw.
Oh, Hog Boss was in this corner.
Hell yeah. Roscoe Pico Train was right there.
Speaking of corner, bro, those who can't play coach, those who can't play teach, right?
Sometimes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, right, like, obviously you can fight. Do you think you're a good instructor? Or is you're like, nah, that's not for me?
No, I love the coach.
Yeah.
And I get what you're getting at, because there are fighters out there that are great fighters, terrible coaches, terrible instructors. Their mindset's not there. They're not looking at best interest of the person, the human being that you're trying to teach, whether it's male, female, it doesn't matter what it is. And there's, like I said, there's some talented guys out there that are great fighters. They've fought on Bellator, they fought here and there, but they just can't coach. You know, it just doesn't. I was thankful and blessed, like you know, you were asking me about Bodyworks, that I had that gym for what, 17 years?
A long time, bro.
Yeah, like 17 years.
Because I worked out there a long time, and you were there for the majority of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I had a very successul program, man. And I actually had, my son-in-law was one of them. His name's Joseph Sandoval. He got to the UFC on undercards. I had a few. My little brother fought Gino Davila. I don't know if you may know him.
Yeah, I remember him.
He got to the point where he was to the point where he was knocking at the door to get on televised for shark fights. Dude, I think we had like about maybe 4 or 5 fighters come out of it. Derek Campos was there with us for a long time. He's fought on Bellator. And
How did you feel personally when, like, all that went away? When UFC just bought it all?
man,
Because I thought it sucked, man.
it did suck.
I liked the WEC. I really liked that fucking organization.
Yeah.
And they had some, every pay-per-view, it wasn't every month, but when they put them on, they were legit.
Yeah, man. I mean, those guys. That was when the lightweight division was into it.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like iffy about it. I was looking at more of dollar signs I was thinking, oh man, we're gonna start making good money, now that this guy took it over. Not true,
Yeah.
brother. When I first started, my very first fight, I made like $250. That was it.
Was that money though? I mean, I know it ain't shit, but what back
No,
then was that?
hell no. It still wasn't nothing. I mean, it was just like a good extra side money that you got in your pocket.
It's like a hobby.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's go out and let's go make $100. Like,
Oh.
it's kind of like, I don't know if y'all remember, you'd go to the bar and they had like the strip contest and you made that extra $100 if you won.
The best chest in the
best
West.
chest in the
The
West.
thong contest.
The thong contest, that one.
Did I see you at the Rincon?
I know I saw you at Club Rio.
No comment. No, Club Rio. You got that one. You probably saw me there, brother. I ain't
I
gonna
saw you
lie.
at Club Rio. Hey man, that's big head.
I gotta make $100. I gotta get to go to Taco Cabana. You know
Taco
what I mean? But yeah, man. Like the WC, like you said, real good friends of mine, kind of like my brother's brother. Like, I know he got a bad rap here in West Texas. You got Leonard Garcia and Cowboy Cerrone came out of the WEC. Those two guys, like I said, we came close over the years, became close. But I used to train in Winklejohn, in New Mexico.
You said Winklejohn?
John Winklejohn. He's the trainer for Bones
that's a
Jones.
name. That's
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
his- yeah.
I thought you like that was a city. I was like,
No.
He's just like, man, I've been everywhere, man.
I never heard of it.
My bad. I should have
Is that in
stipulated.
Colorado?
That's New Mexico. New Mexico got some weird names, bro. They could have been there. But yeah, man, they're based out of Albuquerque. And at the time when I used to train over there, Leonard and Cowboy had a ranch. BMF Ranch started in Edgewood. And then so at the time they invited me, hey, Big Head, come on through, man. He was like, we're in the UFC. We can get you in, because there's a lot of politics involved. It's like who you rub elbows with. And I took him up on it, man. And I trained for when I fought Pete Spratt from the UFC, and I knocked Pete Spratt out in Amarillo on that pay-per-view card. I trained there. And, man, talk about just hard sparring. I mean, it wasn't really a teaching school.
Yeah.
It's like this is where all the big dogs go, and
You're supposed to already know.
Yeah, you should know.
It's just day in, day out, drink till you drown.
Yep.
Grind.
Yeah,
Right.
ground and pound type shit.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
It's great.
This episode is brought to you by Edgar's All Industrial Services. Are you looking for flooring and tile, cabinet and countertops, maybe some concrete and framing, or electrical and insulation? Hit up my boy Edgar at Edgar's All Industrial Services. He's on Facebook. And also hit him up at 806-544-0371. Let him know it's the JP Lopez Show sent you. Once again, on Facebook at Edgar's All Industrial Services, 806-544-0371. His promise is simple. You dream it, he builds it. Hit him up, show him some
bro,
love.
So to get back into what we were saying, so like you're obviously rewired. You're an OG. Like, you had a few fights. Was it always in you to say, hey, let's make something out of this? Or
No.
okay.
No. Let me tell you. So I was doing really well. I went 4-0, and it's kind of crazy. Like how you were talking about wrestling. You go up to up north, and this dude had 52 wrestling matches, and you were like 10 and 0, and you're like, oh man, I'm badass. I'm the best in Lubbock, Texas. Kind of happened the same way in my fighting career. I had won my first belt, and it was actually here at the Coliseum, the big red dome.
Yeah.
I got to fight in there, and it was a great memory.
Badass, bro.
And that was a tournament, so that was 3 fights in one night. I don't know if y'all know who Pat Miletich was. He was actually the UFC champ at 170 at one time. I was fighting his guy in the finals, and dude, I won. And that was just great. Very proud moment for me. Some of my cousins and all the Davila cousins that I don't know.
They were there.
They were there. Hey, it's my cousin, it's my primo. They're cheering for you. And I was like, hey, what's up, cuz? I don't really know you, but hey, appreciate the support. But no, man. So after that tournament, of course, the hype comes. he's doing good. He's a West Texas bad boy, you know, doing his thing. And here comes Steve. The promoter part of him came up, and he was like, "Hey, big head, I want to send you to a tournament in Iowa." And I was like, "Okay." So is it like this? They go, because back in the day it was open palm strikes. We didn't have closed
Oh,
fists.
couldn't fist. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you can still knock the shit out of.
Oh,
I mean, I
yeah.
knocked out a few dudes with open palms, but kind of like, what was that?
That was hate,
pancreation.
bro.
Yeah. I was like, that's how my mama used to hit me.
What the?
Like, God damn, dazed me a little bit. But no, it was pancreation was the big deal in Japan. It was big in Japan, like with Boss Root and all those guys. That was how they would fight open palm. Well, they sent me to my very first closed fist, and I was like, oh, fuck, it ain't gonna be no difference. It's gonna be even better because I can close my fist now.
Yeah.
I can punch. And so when I go, I was like, so is it, guys, like with my experience, you know, I'm still young at the time. I'm only 19 at the time. And it was like, he's like, yeah, bro, you know, we got you going. And then they buy you plane ticket, per diem, buy you food. I was like, oh, shit. I'm a poor barrio kid from the shit. I've never been out of Texas. Hell, I've never been on the damn plane.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, fuck it. I was like, yeah, I'll take it.
Here I go.
But I'm down. So I never knew anything about, like, I was used to my coach, and then my coach told me, hey, I won't be able to go with you. You know, I got a job and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, shit. My wife has always been my diehard in my corner. And so she's like, babe, I'll give you the water, and I'll give you this, and I'll give you whatever you need in between rounds. Fuck it. You know, that's the mentality.
Mike Perry over here.
Yeah, that was the goddamn mentality I had, brother. I was like, fuck it, let's go. And so we went. First fight went pretty good. No damage. Took him out, and probably some guy from Oklahoma. But when I looked at their records, because they started posting like wrestling, you know, 52-0, 10-0, whatever. I was the only guy with 4-0 matches. All the rest of these guys were like 25-15, you know, 15-2. I was like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, even 15 losses is experience.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but a lot of these guys had winning records, and I was like, damn, I only had 4 fights. I was like, I'm a little mocoso. I was the youngest one in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, shit, fuck it. I'm going to fight and just make the best of it. So first one came through and you know, went my way, and then I got out, and then my second fight is where, man, I don't know how these guys, and like I've dropped weight, but not hellacious weight like these guys do now.
Yeah.
And these guys were like tiers above me, like how to cut weight and do stuff. So these guys were big. I was like, there's no way this motherfucker made 185. No way. And they come in, man, it was a big old guy, and he caught me right here flush and just swelled my eyes shut. I ended up knocking him out, thank God, with a ground and pound. He just, boom, he went out. When I got out the ring, my wife was frantic and freaking out because my eye was swollen shut. I had a big, deep gash underneath. And
then you had one more fight.
Yeah. And so it's a really cool story too, man. I don't know if y'all remember Stitch.
Yeah.
Stitch, the cornerman. He was before he was Stitch. I mean, he always had that nickname Stitch, but he goes, hey, come here, mijo, because he had some fighters on that card. And he saw that Gigi was my only one in my corner, and she was freaking out, and he goes, let me take a look at it. So he did it, you know, he put I didn't even know what a damn inswell was, you know, none of that shit. And so he's like pushing on it. I was like, whoa, you motherfucker. I was like, that shit hurts. And so he's pushing it and moving it. Yeah, he looks at the gash, and I guess he had some stop bleed. I don't know what it is that they put on it, and it stopped bleeding. And then he grabbed some super glue and put it in my cut, and then closed it shut. And he was like, "That's all I can do for you, mijo." He goes, "Good luck on your next on the finals."
You talk about a burn.
Yeah,
and he wasn't even your guy. He was just felt so bad for you.
Yeah.
Golly.
I mean, my heart went out to him. Thank you. Thank you, Stitch. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate you, brother.
I will tag him.
And who knows, man, brother? He may not remember me because it was so long ago,
Yeah.
and he's been in the game for decades, and just with big fighters, and you know.
Can you paint a picture for me? I'm at home. I'm watching one of my favorite fighters, and you can see him get rocked a little, right? And then that person is not the fighter that you know and love, right?
Right.
Because I guess it's survival mode now, right?
Right.
Have you been there?
Yes.
Okay, so can you paint the picture of what's going on in your head at that, like, because I'm asking because I'm a diehard boxing fan, right? And I've never been in this situation, so I'm a pendejo because I'd be like, I don't care how I feel, I'm still just gonna,
Kind of like an armchair
like,
quarterback.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I don't know, no better, but obviously there's something to it because it's they're in survival mode. They're not, you know what I
Right.
mean?
So, have you ever been? So, I'm trying to describe the feeling. Okay. And I think the best way to describe it is when you've had a drunken night, and you're in there, and you're kind of wobbly, but you think you're gonna be fast, but your mind's telling you one thing, and your body's telling you another.
It's different.
It's different. It's kind of like, you're punching in quicksand. It's what it feels. It's what you're doing. You're like, ugh, and you're like, oh, but your mind and
So your mind is there.
Your mind is there.
Your body ain't.
Your body's not.
Okay.
Like, that's why you see when guys get knocked out and they wake up and they're like, what happened?
Or they're trying to wrestle
Yeah.
the ref.
Exactly. It happened to my son-in-law. My son-in-law, when he got to the UFC, he made it there. He didn't have a good stint. He had a good first fight. His second fight on his contract, man, he got caught with some bad elbows, and he went out. And I have a lot of love for my fighters, man. Like those are my kids now. And so I ran in there, and he looks up. He's like, "Why'd they stop it?"
Oof.
And then we showed him the video, and he sees it, and he was like, "Fuck, that happened to me."
Damn.
That's the feeling. That's the only way I can kind of explain what that feeling's like, brother. Like, you get rocked, and I don't know if you ever held your breath and you see the little flickery lights, like it looks like you stared at a light bulb for a long time. You get those, and it's like, holy shit. And either you can try to get your feet back from underneath you, and you see these guys running, trying to get away from it, but that guy's on attack mode and he's coming at you. And you just got to try to wing it out, and hopefully that sense just passes.
Yeah.
And it happens with a lot of fighters too. Like, they know that they're prone to getting rocked, because that happens with a lot of fighters.
Amir Khan.
Yes.
Amir Khan.
Amir Khan.
He was an awesome fighter, but just did not have a chin, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but great fighter.
Yeah.
So, once again, the chingazo blow for blow, like, type shit. That's heart, right? Like
It's
the dog, like, you gotta kill me in this ring, this cage.
Everybody has heart, bro.
Well, that was my question.
Yeah.
Is-
Everybody has heart. You have heart. You have heart. You would fight to your last breath. But the professional part of it, that's just a God-given gift to be able to do that. I mean, that's something that either God's blessed you with it or didn't bless you with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're literally going through car wreck after car wreck after car wreck because you're just pounding the shit out of each other.
Well, that's what I'm getting to, is because there's been several times where, your fighter, the guy you're cheering for, was like, dude, if you just dig deep, you can win this. And then they don't.
Yeah.
So you're like, this fool don't have no heart, But like I said, we're pendejos. We don't fight, We don't know shit about.
But there may be a time also where you literally, like, you've already taken an ass whipping, you've been fighting for a while, and you finally just, like, I can't do this anymore, right? Have you?
Sometimes.
So, like, some fighters would come to that point where, like, God damn, this is it. Like, no more. Like, I'm.
Yeah, because several fighters have retired after the fight.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a blessing, that man, that individual, woman or man, because it's a woman and man sport, they can walk away, and that's just them. Their bodies telling them, their wives telling them, their husband, their families telling them, hey, you don't see it, and so we're trying to help you stop from doing it. We don't want, you just have so much love for the sport and the passion and the camaraderie and the competition, and somebody saying you're cheering your name. It's like, some people can't live without that 15 minutes of fame. You know, they want to hold on to it, and so it's the best thing that's ever happened to them in their life. They don't look at it through a different perspective, like, you know.
I get what you're saying, but I want to ask you, how much thought goes into a walkout song?
A whole lot.
A whole, yeah, for real? Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, brother. A whole lot.
Because I always thought maybe it's a whole lot, but then you're like, well, maybe there's fighters, they don't give a fuck. But
Yeah. I mean,
I always thought it was a whole lot.
yeah.
A whole lot of thought.
It is a whole lot of thought, but like, you got different walks of life from fighters. And maybe a handful of guys have that I don't give a fuck, but even the ones that are professionally in it, they know they're walking out to something.
Your
And-
walkout song pumps you up, or it like describes you or
A little bit of both.
a meaning.
A little bit of both. I've always been a super fan of mariachi music, the Mexican culture. It's always did something in my heart and kind of get me going.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. So I've walked out with mariachis. I did it with the Lubbock mariachis when I fought here. That was a great fight. Dude, it was just awesome. Came out with my charro hat and found one actually big enough to fit my big ass head. It took a long time. It took a long time for me
thank
to
you,
find
famosa.
that thing. I'm like, I had to find it in San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm
like,
about to
this
say
guy-
you found that in San
I'm about
Antonio.
to San Antonio. I had to find. I had to.
I know you didn't find that shit in Mexico
Hell
at all.
Hell no. I went to San Antonio and I was like going to Market Square and I was like, shit, they got sombreros at this one place and charro hats, and I was like, God damn, I gotta find one of my size, because no, but imagínate if I had one looking like a thimble, a yarmulke, looking like a yarmulke, I'd look pendejo.
Can you imagine if you went into luchador?
Yeah. Nah, bro. Wouldn't be able to breathe in the máscaras, way. Golly. But yeah, man, I found it in San Antonio. You're right. And so, man, I've always, it's a really cool thing, man. Like I said, I had a bad upbringing, but you have those one tias or somebody that was good to you. And I had this one tia, man. I went to her great seamstress cook. That was her thing. And I said, Tia, I said, I have an idea for my walkout stuff. I need 3 flags sewn together, but I need them to actually show. And so my tia,
It was a Confederate, and what else?
I got it.
It was dedicated to his first fight.
Dedicated my first fight memories to that first redneck, David Schwain. David Schwain, that one goes out to you. But no, man. So I always want to represent from where I'm from. Like Texas is my thing. You know, Texas is different than any other state.
For sure, man.
You know, you can go different places and it's just not the same.
I
And,
always say Texas and Georgia,
Yeah.
they are the two most proudest motherfuckers of where they're from. Legit. Yeah.
So you'll see it. I still got it. My wife has it put up. I got Texas flag on my back, and then I got Mexican and American right here in the front. And then my tia sewed for me, and so
That's awesome,
I've always
bro.
walked out for that way.
Yeah, that's
Represent.
exactly what I claim too. Like, I remember my father-in-law. He was trying to call me Chicano. I said, God, come on, dude. I said, don't call me that. He goes, well, Chicano. You know, they're from Mexico.
Right.
I said, if you're gonna call me something, because I have been repeatedly calling myself Mexican my entire life.
Right.
I go, and my friends are Mexican. I said, we've never said, hey, Chicano. We're calling each other Mexicans, so we're Mexicans. I go, but if you really want to call me not Mexican, you can call me Tejano, but you cannot call me Chicano. And he was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got that right there. So the Tejano, the Mexicano, Americano, the whole thing.
Yeah, of course. You hit it right there, nail in the head, man. I mean, that's me too.
You still have that flag?
Still have it. If I come out of retirement, I'll wear it again.
Badass, bro.
It'll always be. It's been on all but except for my first 4 when I won the first tournament. I've had that flag since probably after fight 5, and you're talking about 52 fights in. So
You're walking from the locker room to the ring, the cage. What's in your mind?
So, my very first tournament that I went to, I had to learn how to channel my mental thoughts. That one is just, you know, that first walkout that I went, I was just like, oh my God. what the fuck am I putting myself in through? It's scared. It's being scared. You know what I mean? Anybody who tells you they go into these fights and they're not scared,
They're lying.
they're lying. Nick Diaz, you saw him walk out with this one. Mike Perry, who's crazy. They're scared before they walk out there. I don't care what they say.
No matter how many fights
No
are under
matter
your
how
belt.
many fights, because there's always that fear of, man, something's gonna happen to me, and it's inevitable. Something's gonna happen to you. Either you're
Yeah.
gonna get
I
punched.
mean, yeah, you knew that something was going to happen to either one of these two guys in that one fight right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. So what's going through my head with that tournament is the guy who I met in the finals. I had seen him fight before. He fought on the same circuit. He actually fought my trainer, and my trainer actually beat him and submitted him. But when I went up there and it was the last fight, there's a lot of mental games played. And so when I was getting out and I won my fight, he was like, man, great job, bro. Shaking my hand, see you in the finals. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. We'll see each other. And me, the pendejo, the, young kid, I'm like, oh, man, this is pretty cool, whatever. We meet in the finals.
That was a strategy he had.
Yeah, it was his strategy. I took it as it's going to be more of like a sparring thing type deal. Of course, you got to see, I had a swollen eye, glued shut. We're getting at it. Man, that dude took my will because he was a college sambo judo guy. Been doing that shit since he was a kid, and got him on. He finally got me on the ground and pound. I was underneath, and he was just rubbing his elbow in my eye. I mean, I cut him up on both eyes, but once he got top position, he was just digging in that eye and just reopening it. And so he put me in a Kimura, and so I could have toughed it out, but he had already took my will. You know what I mean? It's just I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. Fuck this. So I tapped. It was done. I flew home, and that was the time, brother. Like we didn't get to that on the last part, but I said, shit, I ain't doing this shit no more. I ain't fighting. But my trainer, Ali, was avid on chasing me. He saw a talent in me that I didn't really see in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, you go to my house, and why you not at the gym? Why you not training? Oh, Ali, man, I got to work, brother. I got these kids to feed, excuse after excuse after excuse. I just, like I said, it was a little, it's a weird experience.
It would have been easier just to tell him you were done.
Yeah. And then
I mean, he would have got it into your ass a lot quicker than what he did.
Exactly, man. But he kept on it, and I did tell him. I told him, because he kept on. He was hardcore, just trying to get me to go back, and I made up every excuse. I can't afford the dues. You don't have to pay. I go, shit. I said, Ali, I finally told him. I ran out of excuses. I said, brother, I don't think it's for me. I'm not making a whole lot of money at this shit. I was like, I got kids, I got to work. I can't be going to work with fucking black eyes and busted lips and nose all swollen up, or however the scenario. And he was like, Eric, you have a talent for this. He goes, you keep coming to the gym. Just come to the gym. He goes, you'll get it back. So, man, I went back, and I still wasn't the same guy. I was getting submitted by guys I would beat all the time.
He knew you better than you knew yourself.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Dude, my father figure, never had a great father figure growing up, but Ali, man, he showed me the true perseverance of what a dad should do.
Yeah.
And so I love him for that. He's in Washington, D.C., and he's
Still
a coach.
keep in contact?
Yes, sir.
Awesome,
yes,
bro.
Sir. He's at Bullis University. He coaches champion kids. His sons are all grown and wrestlers too, and just love that man. And we still keep in contact.
So what would you say your feelings are towards Jake Paul, being the fact that he doesn't have a story like you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he skipped to the front of the line and then all of a sudden became a quote unquote elite fighter.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
At first, like everybody else who's a true fan and true guys who came up with the sport, you looked at it as a freak show. This is set up.
Phony.
This is phony. This is bullshit. He didn't, like you said, he didn't go through what we go through. But when you look at it and you look at the paydays he's giving these guys, he's coming from a different perspective. He's got money. He's not greedy. He's not Dana White, who's trying to monopolize the sport.
Yeah.
He's actually the one guy who had the balls enough to go in and try to, box it up with Dana and make a different platform for us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It really looks like now, once you look at it, you see what he's doing. And he's just sick of Dana White and Dana White shit, and how he's saying things and how he's monopolizing, how Dana went from, oh, I didn't have a lot of money when I built UFC. The Fertitta brothers, they only gave me $3 million to start this, only.
Yeah.
Kind of like Trump and everything. How
But what
they get
about
started.
now? You know what I mean?
Now, he sold the company off for $70 billion, and he's still the front face of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see the greed, and you see the guy that everybody sees it as a fighter. We're just horses in the stable, bro. You got to look at it like that. We're guys that fighting is an opportunity for financial gain for your family or for whatever reason you're doing it for. It's something that a lot of these guys, it's a poor man's game.
Yeah. So his argument was that in boxing, 4 or 5 guys are making the hundreds of millions of dollars, as opposed to MMA, 200 guys are making like the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet that's his argument, whereas that's how it evens out.
And honestly, that's a big number that you can kind of say. There's not hundreds of guys making in the 100,000s.
Yeah, that's what I was like. He's still full of shit.
Yeah. You talking about Jake Paul said that?
No, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana's full of shit.
Yeah.
That's inaccurate. When it comes into that it's a whole different animal, bro. When it comes to sponsorship, some guys make more money on sponsorship and all that stuff, and then he put in a clause when he actually got to make more money. Your fighters only get a percentage of Venom or whoever was on the gloves and stuff. You could no longer get Affliction. You could no longer wear Tap Out. You could no longer do this.
That's crap, man.
It all has to be the brand, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where you really started to see the greed, because at the time he took it and ran with it, man. He was the guy that took MMA mainstream. Mm-hmm. He made it a sport. Yes, I give him that. He did, but the greed took over. And just like with any businessman, I don't know if y'all have ever dealt with them. They're sharks, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of them are sharks.
They're all sharks in their own way.
Big fish in a small pond, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, what's the best way to make a ton of money that this country's got rich off of? The poor man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And the poor fighters are your guys who have the story, and they came up from. That's why Brazilian fighters are doing so well, brother. That Brazil has a very, very poor community, and they learn to fight.
Yes, and they're tough motherfuckers, because they're still in the hood. They're still there's less and less hoodness, and even if you live in a poor neighborhood, we've already indoctrinated these kids to play on fucking the video games, their phones and stuff. They're not outside doing motherfucking shit anymore, so they're not gonna grow up with that toughness to them, where I have to fight and literally have to fight my way to get out of this shit right here. But Brazil, hell, the Dominicans still for baseball, and then whatever other countries you can go into soccer too. Like, we suck at soccer because the other countries have their poor kids that are tough coming up, and we have our tough kids play football or whatever other wrestling, and soccer's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you only have rich kids. I'm not saying that they're not any good.
Yeah.
But they've always had something. They've always had the best shoes. They always had clothes. They had a nice house, a nice bed, food, whatever.
And you get in at that, man. That's where I tip my hat off to Jake Paul. Mind you, he created his millions of dollars of just being an influencer and doing his thing. But he didn't have to go and go this route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't have to pay these fighters that excess type of money. So that's the respect I got for him, because he's opening up a floodgate to where I would tell fighters all the time, I hope when you get there, my younger kids that are training that are aspiring their dreams and stuff to be fighters, because it's more mainstream, I hope when you guys get there and you stick with it and your talent or God blesses you with that opportunity, that you're making millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I will never see that, and I'm good with that. But I had a good financial stability for my family as I was doing it, because it's hard to make a living as a fighter, especially for my era.
Well, yeah, because like I said, them OGs didn't get paid shit. Nothing. And I don't know, man. I get everything that you're saying. It's just the personality. I can't stand the kid, man.
I don't like that, but you got to understand, like, half these guys you see him putting on a show, it's a show. It's just like a little bit of fake wrestling with trying to promote. I mean, it's just the era, man.
I mean, and I get that, but when he was an influencer, you know what I mean? I still couldn't stand the kid.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I he doesn't look like a person that I would be like, hey, what's up, bro?
Yeah.
But when it comes to business, I mean, it's just kind of like the way I look at it, brother. Like, if you're in a business and you're trying to move up, you got to learn to rub elbows the right way and to move up and stuff like that. And it's the same thing in fighting. You got to learn to rub elbows. I mean, look at Francis Ngannou. Okay, he was great in UFC. Now, Dana monopolizes the market. Yes, he does, but he's thankful. I mean, he's blessed that Jake Paul is still keeping this thing running. Now, like, I don't know after this show. I don't know if y'all saw it. How many empty seats there are. How much money he's actually willing to lose to make this happen for these fighters if he's really into it.
It just seems like when he went to, was it Paramount? It's Paramount, right, Eric?
For UFC? Yeah.
It just seemed like once he made that jump to Paramount, like the quality of the pay-per-view just dropped.
Yeah, now it's free, and that's what we wanted. We don't want to pay for that shit. But now it's just like another.
It's like a fight night. Every pay-per-view is a fight night.
It's getting to the point where it's getting bland.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what
like
I mean?
the quality just dropped.
And that's what Strickland said, right? Like, he goes, this shit's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a good fight, though, by the way.
Yeah, it was, man. He did his thing. As much as Strickland, I'm not a big fan of Strickland either. But man, he.
Yeah, I don't like him either. And I was like, God damn, he beat this.
He's a dog, though, man. He's a dog.
He does show up. He shows up in shape and everything all the time.
Can you paint the picture for us and like describe why it's so hard for fighters to hang them up?
Man, you look at it like this. I think for some, and probably about 80% of them, like I said, it's a poor man's sport. You got guys that aren't educated, and they finally found something to make money, and money can make your family love you. You know what I mean? It could be that, or people to love you, period.
Yeah.
You know, you get those guys that weren't around when you didn't have money and you were on the come up, and they just wanted to be, they just wanted to be around you because you got the money, you got the name. I can vouch for this, man. I have people who were around me, and I had to learn the hard way. And my wife this is a true story. We would go out, man. I'd pay for everything. My tab would be $1,500, $2,000 at the bar. Then we'd go out to eat, and then we'd have about 20 or 30 people with us. And you know, I grew up as a poor kid, and I always think about things, man. Like I look at people in general, and I've always been that way. My circle is super small. I can count on my hand who I can really trust. Who I can. Those are my people. That's my family, and they're not even blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So same aspect with this. I sat down. I told my wife. I said, stop buying everybody drinks. Let's stop going out. And let's see how many of these people will stick around or sit there and do it for you. Hey, I know you have money. I know you have this, but I got you.
Yeah.
You know, that says a lot about a person who can buy somebody who's got all the money in the world that you can do a lot of things with and just buy you a meal, you know, out of the goodness of their heart. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what happens with a lot of these fighters. Just to let that go is hard. That's part of it. I think the other percentage is just that's how they've done all their life. They don't know how to do anything else. You don't know nothing else. And to leave that and hang it up, it's just a hard thing to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of fighters don't have my mindset. I've always worked a full-time job or a part-time job. I've always said, hey, there's gonna be a time you can't do this shit. You know, don't ever be too proud to work. And that's what I taught my kids, man. And so you would see me. I'd go fight on a pay-per-view for shark fights. The following week, you see me at United cutting meat, and they're like, "Hey, man, don't
Didn't you
don't
fight last
bro?
weekend?
Did you fight last week?" Yeah. What are you doing here? I said, "Well, working, motherfucker. I gotta pay bills too." Like, you know, it's not all what you think, and you don't want to get too deep in conversation because you don't know this person
No,
sometimes,
yeah.
and it's like it gets a little irritating, like to explain.
It
the
does,
business.
but also too for the person at home, you instantly think you're making
Yeah.
Yeah, like
a
you're
lot of
you're
money.
set.
I'm seeing you on
you're set.
TV, so this guy's making a lot of money.
Yeah, not true. Not true. Not true for a lot of our fighters. It's just like I tell people like this. You got how many guys that come out of Texas Tech, our local Guns Up, they could play pro ball, but a handful of them don't make it. They don't get there. They don't get that opportunity. They don't get that call. They don't get that combine call that you did this and did that, and they go out on the walk-ons, and sometimes they still don't do that. It's just not in their cards. You know, there's millions of great athletes in this world.
Yeah, they're like a dime a dozen. I get it.
And that's why I say we're just a stable, bro. I mean, yeah, quality of fighters, you'll find that one guy who just sticks out of the rest. But then you got some guys, it just depends what perspective you're looking at it. You know, you could love, yeah, I got guys who love me or die hard and like, man, fucking Big Head's the best. He's the baddest guy on the planet, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, there's always somebody better than you know?
Are you still deep in the game?
Yeah.
That being said, now you saying that, I want to piggyback on what Eric was saying. Do you think the sport is dying, or are you seeing a lot of younger generation?
I see this. So MMA, I think it's getting a little washed. You're seeing. It's funny how you see times repeat themselves. Bare knuckles coming up. People that's becoming more mainstream. They're seeing guys throw down bare knuckles and hand. I mean, that's how they originally started all this fight game before boxing.
The whole barbaric shit.
The whole barbaric stuff, and people are starting to love it. And, you know, you got Mike Perry's and John Jones have dirty boxing, which is they alter the rules a little bit. You can still throw elbows in the clinch. It's more of a street. I wouldn't say street fight because you got to have some skill with it, and throwing tie elbows and from the clinch you just can't kick a knee.
Yeah.
But if you drop the guy,
it's a unorthodox, dirty way of boxing.
Exactly. And so that's why I think boxing and professional boxing and MMA are getting a little washed out because they're seeing the dirty politics in it, like with boxing, how some guys throw the fights, stuff like that.
Yeah, but also boxing too. Mayweather fucked it up.
Yeah.
He made it. He made everyone believe that you can't take a loss, so no one's fighting no one no more. Like,
They're cherry picking everything.
Yeah.
And like nobody actually goes in there to have a war, right? It's slap, 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 slap. I slapped you more this round than the last round, and then we go to a decision, and you're like, God damn. And you have to wake me up, and you're like,
And see, so like I said, I've learned to look at things from different perspectives, bro. Like, how many of people who watch MMA do you actually see really give a shit about two guys going bloody war, or they like the show of this fit guy and this fit guy? You know, there's some blood. They're average fighters, and again, it's a way of marketing. Like these guys that have these promotions, they pull data. They're like, okay, this is what streamlined the average person that doesn't go to the gym or do anything. They want to watch the fights just for the fun of it or get together. And I can almost guarantee you there's more people like that than avid guys who are down and they actually know what's going on in the sport.
Wow.
See, look at it through that perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been like I said, cutting meat and retail and how things are changing with that too. We look at data all day. What are they buying? You know, what is this customer buying? Is it my food stampers that are buying cheap meat and they got to buy like 20 different packages for that one big ribeye.
Yeah, like
type
what's
deal.
selling, what's going to
selling.
waste, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So we pull data on the daily, and I can almost guarantee you, these big promotions, that's what they do too on Streamline. Let's see who's streamlining. Let's see, is it the average soccer mom? Is it the average
Dude, I
entrepreneur?
never even.
Yeah,
That was never even a thought for me.
yeah.
Wow, bro.
It opens up your eyes a little bit
Yeah,
once
it
you sit down and
does.
think about
Yeah.
it, brother.
Because that pay-per-view is not for the diehard fans. It's for everybody, but you're thinking,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
And it opens up your eyes. So like, you see how the rich got rich, how Dana got what he's got, what Jake Paul is doing now. You know, that's how they're making millions and millions of dollars, brother. I mean,
wow, bro.
yeah. I've always looked at it as from a fighter standpoint, a diehard fan, a guy who just, he's been in it, done it, from every aspect of the sport, and then except for when you start meeting these sharks. I can guarantee you, these guys who've been sharks that you see on Shark Tank and stuff have never picked up a glove and fought anybody in their life. You know what I mean? They just know how to make money.
Damn, bro.
But this has been going on for centuries, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Caesars with gladiators, with back in the day, it's just.
I get it, but you just blew my mind because I never thought of it like that. I never thought of it being an actual product for sale. Crazy.
Because you're always a fan.
Yeah.
You're always a fan, and
Wow.
fans are the ones that give you the money.
Have you ever won a crowd over?
Yes,
How does that feel?
great.
Like,
Lubbock, man. I've always loved to fight here. I make more money, and this is where I have the understanding of making money doing what I do. I've made more money here in Lubbock for the point of merchandise sales, people who love you, people who either they want to see you lose or they want to see you win.
either way, they bought the
either way,
ticket.
they bought the ticket. They bought the ticket, brother. And a lot of times is if you're that guy and you look at it through a business standpoint, promoters will tell you how many tickets you think you'll sell. And I'll tell them, well, I'm not going to sell the tickets, but I'll tell you there's probably I could probably seat the whole Coliseum here in Lubbock, and that seats about 4,500. I think for a main event, you would sell that. And they were like, well, how many tickets would you sell? I said, I'm not selling tickets. That's not how I roll. And there's some gullible, dumb fighters, man, that these guys.
They wanted you to legit
Yes.
sell tickets.
And you get a percentage.
Come on.
Dude, it works for some fighters. Like for some guys who don't know the business, they will sit there and spend their hard-earned time. Hey, I got tickets. I got front rows for this much. And they become salesmen. And they lose the focus of their whole focus is their
What's
fight.
the promoter's job?
Exactly. But that's where I tell you, look at it through a different perspective. If I can get this guy to sell my product and this guy to sell my product, that's why there's pyramid schemes in this world to sell insurances and all
bro.
that stuff. Why not?
It's dirty, man.
Dirty. It's a dirty business, man. But like I said, depending where your heart is and where your mind is, there's some good things that can come out of it. First and foremost, you got to have a love for it to be a competitor.
I think the level of disrespect that question. Seriously, bro, you're fucking headlining the show. You're the main event, and he's asking you how many tickets can you sell. Fuck out of here, bro. I ain't selling no tickets.
Yeah, but this is where it's a tough pill to swallow, bro. He's a promoter. That's where you're going. He's paying you a certain amount of purse, and he's looking at it through his business standpoint.
But then that's when you become a prostitute. You're selling your soul. You're selling your ass. You know what I'm saying?
And if you look at it through that way, you're kind of right on that.
Because what are you gonna do next for that bigger purse and then the bigger purse?
Okay, but look at it like how you said the prostitute. You got prostitutes and escorts that you will pay $5,000 to $10,000 for, or you can go to Avenue Q and get that $35, $10 hole.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same aspect, bro. It's the way you look at it, and it sucks that you got to look at it that way. But honestly, that's what it is. Do you want to be that? You hate to say call yourself a hoe because you'll never call yourself that, but you're gonna be that high price good hoe that puts on and does what you need to do, or you're gonna be that person, because there's that all stages of fighters that are on that card. How many times you go and see there and like, man, that dude sucked.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Avenue Q hoe right there.
Yeah, that's shit. Because even an expensive hooker doesn't like really want to be a hooker, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Doesn't want to be.
But you know, I'm getting paid for it, so I might as well take it.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, that's the ugliness of the business sometimes, brother. I mean,
You know, it sucks that I was gonna bring up a point and we skipped it, but you know how you said it we live off the hard work of like the poor. You know what I mean? And I was thinking about like that's true because I don't ever see any rich fucker on social media, in real life, on TV, ever talking about they wear Louis and all these designer motherfuckers. It's always the keep up with the Joneses, the middle class, and the broke motherfuckers that are like, oh, my Louis belt, my Louis purse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these rich fucks ain't even buying that shit. It's the broke fools that are buying all this shit.
yeah, it's an ugly truth about. Sometimes it's a race thing. Sometimes it's just a poverty thing, man. I mean, you look at it that way, but this world is built off of poor people. I mean,
And the manipulation of all of it.
Yes, and it's not gonna change, brother. It's not until Diosito comes down and just fixes the earth and does what he needs to do.
I mean, it won't change. It'll get worse, though.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
definitely.
Every day.
Yeah. I'm really afraid of what this world would look like once the data centers take over and people start losing their jobs, and then it becomes lawlessness, and it becomes, well, let's go rob this house because they've got more, and the cops ain't gonna do shit about it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm really afraid of those type of times.
You know, it's crazy. You watch movies like that, like the humanity gets killed off.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way they can try to fix it.
Fix it, yeah.
Yeah, it's science fiction right now, but when you look at it, you look how the times are changing. If we're blessed to be in this world for 100 years, you know, you're really going to see the output of it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, when I mentioned that, you know, there's less kids that are out there trying to do stuff because they're on the electronics and stuff or whatever. The data centers is what is trying to make everybody be on the data center, because then they know they can control you. And eventually you are not going to be able to leave your house without being controlled with that electron device that you got. I don't know if this is true, but I heard, and if it isn't or it isn't, it's an idea. But Mexico, in like 2 or 3 years, they're going to have it that if you don't download or have your phone up to whatever program or whatever, it doesn't work anymore for any reason. And I was like, what the fuck?
Did you see after 2026, the cars that are made after 2026 are going to have the
Breathalyzer.
the ability to see if you're inebriated or not, or if you're distracted, and it pulls over.
Oh, no shit.
It'll pull over.
It won't even turn on.
Yeah, and all right. So this is how it got passed, is because to see if you're drunk driving or whatever, right? Well, that's not the case, because this guy on social media had this particular car. It's a BMW, which already has this feature, and he said that off on its own. I mean, hands 10 and 2, driving right. He checked his mirror, and then it said that you're distracted, and it pulled him over.
Oh, how horrible.
Yeah, because it has like an eye screen. So if you're not looking at the windshield, it'll tell you like ding 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 ding. It'll start yelling
Yeah.
at you that you're not looking at the windshield.
So, okay, all right. Every car has that, right? Okay, now then they implement what they really want to do is control it.
I mean, it's just like with any other idea, bro. I mean, you try it out, and then you fix the kinks.
No, that's the
You
thing,
know what I'm
though.
saying?
Like,
You're trying to
I
make it
think
better.
that there's a master manipulation into this, because later on down the line, it's like Eric said, it's all about control.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna allow you to drive 30 miles today.
Yeah.
That'll be the limit for today. You can only drive 30 miles today, and then we'll turn your car off. And then to top it all off, everyone wants to go to electric. Well, let's shut off the the electric, and then you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Like I mean, dude, fuck, man. I
Some people lose sleep over thinking of that.
no,
all the time,
I
brother,
know,
you know
and
what I mean?
and I don't want to sound like a damn tinfoil hat person, but
Right.
dude, like
It is a thing.
it
It
is
is a thing.
Mhm.
It is a
It's
thing. Most definitely. That's how times have changed, man.
And then what's MMA in those type of times?
Real,
No one-
or
no-
be like Real Steel.
That's what I'm
The movie
saying,
Real
like-
Steel. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, all you can do is live for today and try to do what you can. Whatever reason you're fighting for, bro. I mean, we don't know the future. We don't know if it's actually going to do. I mean, hell, this is kind of like the year 2000. They thought the whole world was going to just shut
Yeah.
off and people buying toilet
Yeah.
paper and water. And Prince predicted it in the song 2000. You know, it didn't happen.
Eric says something that I wish that I can do, man. And he's told my wife that, and he's told his clients that. But my wife is solely artist. Like, could give a fuck about the world. She was here to help me with the pictures, and then she's
Yeah.
off in her garage in her studio painting and shit.
Yeah.
She knows nothing about the world. And Eric was like, I wish I had that. Like, legit.
Yeah.
And until he said that, I was like, man, you're right, man. Like, I wish I could turn off all of reality and just be in my own world.
Yeah. You the sanity that you save yourself without knowing all the bullshit that's happening out there.
Yeah. We got all walks of life, brother.
You could tell my wife that Hetna virus, all that, no fucking clue. Like, and don't even care. Like, no, I never heard of it. Cool. Hey, so we need to go to Hobby Lobby, and I need these paint. Like, and I wish I had that, bro. I fucking wish I had that.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing for some people, man. But like I said, we're all built different, brother. Like how you asked me about being built. I went through different transitions, you know, and
Yeah.
everybody does that, you know.
Man, you went through every single transition that you went through. There was someone there for the scam.
Yep.
You're 7, you're 12, 19. Like there's a scam all the way across, and now it's you're gonna run into the scam, but you pick up, okay, I'm not gonna get that scam again.
Yep.
And then now you're waiting for the next scam or whatever. Now you can anticipate, oh, this motherfucker right here for the scam.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, that's what fighting business has taught me over the years. You know, unfortunately, as a fighter, age is not your friend. So
Yeah.
you know, all you can do is
In life too, though.
yeah, exactly. And my goal with all this, man, like I said, if I ever open up a gym again, I had the gym running, and then I went to Premier and had it, and then COVID hit, and of course everybody's scared. Never know what the fuck is COVID. Nobody's going to the gyms. There's no fights. There's no revenue.
You can't fight when you're 6 feet apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and do that. So I had to make a decision. Do I close the gym down and go through something that's what do they call that when your job is needed?
Oh, you're
Oh, what was it?
God damn it.
I got a brain fart right now.
I
Yeah,
did too.
yeah.
But anyway,
Essential.
Essential.
Yeah,
That's
essential.
all. So I went to my essential, man, and I thank God that I've always told my fighters to always have something to fall back on. Because I went to meat cutting, man, and that's what I've been doing this whole time. And then, of course, my wife wanted me to retire, and she just didn't want to chance something because of my style of fighting. You guys have seen some of it. It's just, like you said, it's brutal. It's like a Mike Perry thing. But I can hold a conversation with you guys, and it's a little bit intellectual. I ain't the smartest guy in the world, but you know.
No, but it ain't skipped the beat.
It ain't like Nick Diaz and Mike Perry, where it sounded like stupid. It was like they kind of looked at each other, and it was like, "What else are we talking about?" You know, I was like
Slurring a little bit.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, I thank you, gracias Diosito, that you've done that for me, and you know, I never got knocked out in my career. I've gotten sat on my butt, but
Yeah.
I've never got knocked out, and thank you for that. And I think that's what worries my wife, you know, and because I've talked to her, because I originally, like, when you get out of the fight game, you just become to like, you don't want to do it no more. You become content with working, and you start gaining weight. You know, I got up to 267 pounds. I had high blood pressure. I had, bad arthritis from all the crap I put my body through, and I was just like feeling like crap, man.
When the life hits, man.
Yeah,
Life hits, bro.
And I've dropped it, and everybody sees me at the gym, and they see me hitting the bag, and they're like, "Big head, you gonna fight? You got a fight coming up?" I'm like, "Dog, I ain't fighting 10 years." I'm like, I said I did it for
It's
health
just
reasons.
exercise, bro.
But man, when you start to do it, and then you go into gyms with these young bucks that are doing it now, and it's like you never skipped a beat. It makes you want to come back out, and that's where I'm at right now. It makes me want to come out, and Texas went closed fist for bare knuckle in Arlington this past year. It was their first sanctioned event. Texas wasn't sanctioned to go bare knuckle, and then when it happened, it was all over social media, and all I did was comment on there. Man, makes me want to come out of retirement. Well, I get a DM, and he's like, "Big Head, you want to get on this card?"
Oh shit.
Oh goddamn!
And I was like, "No, brother." I was like, "I've been out the game for about 10 years." They're like, "Oh no, but it's easier. You don't have to train as hard for MMA." Leonard's telling me this, and he's calling me up, and if I'm willing to go BKFC Texas and blah blah blah, and I would be great at it, right up my alley. And like, man, I'm fat right now, and my condition is not there. And
I've listened and I heard everything you just said. Like, but that's still got to be a good feeling, bro, to just comment, and then you've made a name for yourself that
Of course.
it was like, hey, bro, you want to come on? We got you.
Well, like I said, it goes back to as a kid, brother. Like the name Big Head, that's who everybody knows me as. It was something that was a bad thing on my upbringing that I've really made a good thing out of it, a positive thing. And so I'm thankful for that, bro.
Yeah.
You saw that you did something well with what you did. Now, is it something that I need, and I gotta have it like some of these fighters?
Yeah.
No, it's not. But when you start getting back into it, and you start losing the weight, and you start looking okay, and the weight cut's not as hard, and you're like, damn, did I waste 10 years of retiring? You question that.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I would just say that you probably awakened the beast again.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa, brother.
Yeah. Like you tapped into the inner beast and it was like, oh shit, I'm on.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm
and,
ready.
And it's there. It's there of a maybe. But I've always had, like, I learned at the latter part of my career that it was harder for me to make the weight. I couldn't make 168, 170. That's actually, I had my most success at 168 at welterweight.
Before we go, I want to ask you that too, man. What's your thoughts on that shit? Because, I mean, we spoke on it briefly and you mentioned it a few times. The hydration, where, like, the next fucking day they're up, like, 20 pounds. Like, obviously it's not fair, but yes, it's fair because they made weight. But I think it's kind of a bitch move to do some shit like that.
I think the sport, bro, and this is just my opinion, you have USADA. They have a way of making money. It's all a money thing. I say let the professional players or whatever they do, if they want to juice, if they want to use any type of performance enhancing drug, let them, because it's just the big muscle guy is not going to sit there and win every fight.
Yeah.
The big muscle guy is not going to win every freaking 100-yard dash in the world. At some point it's a science and it's a God-given gift, and just so why do all that?
I mean, I get that too, but also in boxing, it's like bullyish because you have the guy dropping weight to go into a lighter weight class, make the weight, but he's a heavier fighter, and he
Right.
walks around at 30, 40 pounds more than what he's fighting at.
But look at it like this: if you're wanting to be a true professional at that sport, and whatever comes across and whatever they're expecting for you to do it, if you can do it, that means you're a professional at doing it.
Yeah.
So if you guys are going to be the best at it and doing it that way, why? Why not? You know what I mean? I'm guilty of it. I've gone in and weighed in at 170, and I'm 195 the next day because of hydration and IVs and just staying true to the game.
Wow.
To me, it's just a different aspect of the sport that you got to be good at. There's like I said, there's supplements, there's enhancing shit, there's anabolic steroids, whatever. And that's still to this day. I don't care how many times you put USADA in it. I've seen things at different gyms where
Oh yeah, there's new innovations.
new
and
innovations
shit
where
that-
they're
yeah.
masking and you can do it. So why make all that shit crazy and illegal? Just make it legal and just okay, let these guys fight. If you can't hang at that level, then you have no business being there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sorry that I feel that way.
No,
No,
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
right. Let me ask you this though. All right, you weighed in at 170 and weighed 195 the next day. Obviously, that's an advantage. But did you feel good after the next day? Like, did you feel like how you felt at the gym a month prior to that fight?
So there's a science to it, man. The way I felt when I rehydrated, and if I hydrated too much, I felt like crap. I had to restrain from doing so much X amount. If I had to do an IV bag, if I could do it with just straight electrolytes and water, and at a certain time, okay, I have to wake myself up from the sleep and get up and every 2 hours eat something, small something, and hydration. To do that, I got it to a science where I felt best, and when I hydrated. So like I said, it just depends, man. Like, to answer your question, if I just did it just like an average person who just didn't take it as a science and just blowed it up, no, I felt like shit. Because I did go through that. Everything's trial and error when you do that stuff. It's experimental, especially when you don't know. You know what
So
I mean?
fight night, you went to fight night feeling like shit.
Feeling like shit.
All
And
that
do you
hard
think
work.
some of these guys that lose that they weren't supposed to lose, it's probably because they didn't do it right?
Yeah, you didn't do it right, and then you got to understand hormones are a big deal. So your cortisol levels can help you retain water and hold on to water. It'll slow you down, like the whole quicksand thing that I tell
Yeah.
you. The adrenaline that's going through. If you don't know how to control that to an extent, that could either work in your favor, or a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times it
Wow.
just slows you down. So
what did you hear about, or were you familiar with Canelo and Bivol when they fought? He went vegan in his training for that fight.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what-
like I said, that's where this becomes a science, bro. Like, each individual is different. They react to different supplements. I mean,
but it was foreign to him for a big ass fight to just all of a sudden switch it up. In my opinion, I would be like, I'm gonna stick to what works. But
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. Like, why would you go? You've never done vegan, and then you decide like, I think this I'm gonna be vegan, and I have a fight in 6 months, and you're like, have you been vegan before? Because I don't know if this shit's gonna
Yeah.
fucking work.
I mean, some guys are relentless like that. Some guys are just, this is the way I'm going to do it, and it's work. Some guys are all about trying new things. It's just, it's the nature of the sport, man. I mean, it's evolving. Some people, it's just like fat deals. Like, there was hydroxycut. Now the big thing is peptides.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? And me at my old age, I can tell you right now, peptides do work. And all they are is branched chain amino acids.
yeah.
They're not anabolic. There's nothing illegal about them, and they're great. And I can pertain and say, hey, they've helped me get back to where I am today because
They minimize inflammation. Your injuries get repaired. You get to
your insulin levels.
Yes, I was about to say you
So
can control
I
your
lived
weight
off
better.
Of that BPC for forever for my shoulder, bro, and then it I guess I just became immune to it because it stopped working. Bro.
Well, so
and then I was told you had to stack it with the TB500.
Yes.
But I mean,
So, brother, like something like that, and this is like I said, I'm all for. I've guinea pigged with it, because I felt like shit, having high blood pressure, being fat, and just, hell, it got to the point where you tie your shoes, you got to take that deep
the
breath,
yeah.
and then so you look at all these GLPs, all the GLPs are peptides, that's what it is, but there's certain levels to it, and you can't go and do a dosage that a person who's obese, which these GLPs were made for, to take it at 1,000 units, and you think that you can do that. Now, if you have muscle tissue and you're just average, you're just overweight, you have to microdose, and there's a sweet spot. that you have to stay at.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's a stack. You know, you got stuff for cognitive, for longevity, for mental focus. Mental focus is such a great thing because you can feel yourself diminishing. Like, damn, I'm forgetting this shit that I would always remember and stuff like that.
Start stuttering and shit.
Exactly.
Like,
You're like, God damn, you know.
Honestly, that's what I started doing the nicotine pouches, because it started making me feel sharp.
Yeah. But nicotine's bad for you.
But
So there's-
no, I'm not saying it's good for me. I'm just saying every time I took a nicotine pouch, I felt my focus like dialed in.
And then it's also the form of the way that you get nicotine.
Right.
Because nicotine is bad for you because nicotine usually comes in the form of a poison. So that's why it's bad for you. But I think a pure nicotine probably is not.
It's just
bad.
the addictive part of it. It's an addiction. That's the only bad thing about it. I think it's where I'm getting at. So, like, man, when I'm dialed into something, like I'm dialed into fighting, and like I told you, like I was a sponge and I love jiu-jitsu when I learned it. I'm like that with my health now. And so I've dialed into these peptides, and like you said, people think I'm putting nicotine pouches in my mouth, and it's not. It's L-theanine with a small dose of caffeine.
Is it Prime?
It's called AZ.
Primal?
AZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of them
Yeah.
out there, like Primal and Ultra. And man, they work. It works. And people, when I say, hey man, you need one? They're like, I don't know, I don't do nicotine. It's not nicotine. It's all healthy vitamins and stuff that cognitive function and focus, it's in it. And so I get deep into it.
No,
bro,
yeah.
like
Because I used to do mushroom coffee
yeah.
for all the for all of the nootropics of it, and that's how I got into nicotine. Because I noticed that I started smoking Black and Milds, and I noticed that every time I would smoke a Black and Mild, I'd like get zoned in. All of a sudden, like all my focus, I guess, like to take a Adderall, so to speak. And I was like, holy shit. So then it developed into taking those nicotine pouches, and I was like, fuck, like I'm dialed in right now.
Yeah. And like I said, with the peptides, man, it's the same thing. There's stuff that claims to be experimental and give you an extra 10 years on your life, and you know the temers on your mitochondrial cells, and it increases this and you know cleanses out your liver, and the different types of GLPs like Ozempic, Tirzepatide. But Ozempic and Tirzepatide eat at your muscles and your bone density, and then you got the new one that's patented by Eli Lilly, which is Retatrutide.
And that's taking everyone by storm, bro.
Because it's not eating at the muscle, and it's not eating at your bone density.
Yeah, and it has like a glycide or something in it where it doesn't let your proteins get eaten away and stuff like that. So
the only bad thing I've ever heard about Reta though, and I can tell you because I've done it. It does take you away. I don't know. I forgot the name that they're calling it. Like if you're so focused on, let's say you hang out and you're with friends, you tend to like, okay, I don't need to go out no more. I don't need to go out. I don't need to do this. Some people it happens that way. Some people it happens with alcohol. They stop drinking cold turkey, and it's like I just don't feel like drinking.
Well, yeah, I think that thing, and it may be just a reaction to something else, but it's supposed to like a lot of people have gotten rid of vices that they had with the drinking, smoking, drugs, whatever it is. And then when you don't do drugs anymore, where you're not going to go hang out with the people that you were doing drugs with, right? I don't drink anymore, so I don't go to the bar anymore. So yeah, you are staying fucking home, right?
I listened to a podcast with a bunch of comedians, and this Bert Kreischer, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's on Manjaro. And when he started taking it, he was calling it the no fun drug, because he was like, this drug makes me not want to have fun no more.
Yeah.
And it's like what you're saying. He was like, I don't want to drink no more. I don't even want to go hang out no more. All this bullshit.
And like I said, it depends on the person. It's different for everybody. What I saw at it was energy drinks. I was an avid energy drinker.
Full sugar?
Full sugar.
Oh, damn,
brother, let me tell you, I would go to work, and every day I worked, at least 2 energy drinks per shift, sometimes 3.
Nos?
Red Bull, Nas, C4s.
All the
It
sh-
didn't
all-
matter. I tried them all.
Full sugar.
Full sugar.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, brother. And so it was just like when I heard about these peptides and I was researching and Googling and doing all kinds of stuff, man. I went through my third PCP, and I was telling him, hey, I got tired of the other PCPs trying to mask your symptoms. You know, you have arthritis. Okay, take this pill. Oh, it's tearing up my stomach. Okay, well, I don't want that. I want something to help fix it. I want it fixed. I don't want it masked to where it's going to come back and constantly come back. And so I go to another PCP. You know, I'm fat, I'm overweight, I don't have the same energy I used to. I used to be able to go to the work, and then right after work, go to the gym, and I'm, down for it. And then, of course, I found my third PCP, Dr. Tran. Was the man. It was a different vibe. Let's just sit there and say that.
Yeah.
And so when I went to him, he tried to start me on TRT therapy, but that, I was like, no, I don't want to stop my natural production. Let's say that, of course, it's hard to let
Were
go.
your levels that low?
Yeah,
They were.
yeah, and it had to do with the weight gain and stuff like that. That happens to.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
your
also
body.
old age too.
Yeah. And so I told him, no, I don't want to do that. But I told him I'd been researching on peptides, and he just flat out told me they work. He says, I have patients on it. He goes, I can't prescribe it to you because, you do not, on paper, you're a healthy individual. But you have ailments. But you don't have an autoimmune disease. You're not, have HIV, because a lot of these peptides are for like HIV and chemo people and people on
shit.
and that's what they use it for. And so he goes, but they work. So without telling me, sorry, Dr. Tran, he gave me a number of a guy who distributes peptides, and because it's like I said, it's not illegal. It's just that it's not.
It's the gray market.
It's the gray market. So I was like, shit, if I'm willing to step in a cage and take a risk of taking a bad shot, well, hell, shit, let me see if I can take a risk with this and see what it does. So, I mean, it just.
I think peptides are well received.
Yes.
I don't think that they're frowned on like how anabolic steroids and shit were.
Right. Well, I mean, if it's the fight game, man, there are some.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Not. I'm not speaking on the professional
Right.
aspect.
Just people walking around.
Yeah.
Like almost any really, really good looking 50-year-old woman is probably on some
Most
peptide, NAD or something, because they got their like, oh, it's Botox. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but they're taking some other shit too.
Yeah.
And all of them are taking something, and it's not frowned upon. It's like, oh shit, where the fuck do I get that?
Yeah.
Like, because I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if y'all need it,
Oh man,
I know a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to get all my peptides from Amino Asylum, and then they went under, and then Soma Chems picked up, and I don't know, man. I just don't trust them no more. So I kind of been out of the game since Amino went away.
Yeah, because that was the best one.
Yeah. So I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and like when I got into this, man, I wanted to be I've never wanted to promote something or say it's good for you or this, and even in my career fighting or anything that I do, and I wanted to do by way of example. I'm not going to tell you to try something that I haven't tried, that I don't see working. And the people that see me from when I was a fat ass and I was like a 267, just miserable.
I love how you say you were a fat ass at 267. 'Cause I was in third grade weighing 267.
That was my plain weight.
I took my kindergarten pictures at
No
school
disrespect,
pictures
bro.
at
Like, God, dude, I was a
267.
beautiful man at 267.
Well, in my eyes,
I'll give you
I was
shit.
a fat ass. I know, man. I know. I just, it's just one of those things, man. Like I said, I wanted to do it by way of example, and I do videos and I put them up, and whatever negative comments you get, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. I've been dealing with that since I ever started fighting. So, if it helps that one person to kind of like get over whatever they're going through, and they just don't have a way, or they're just ashamed to ask. I want to be that guy who's like, it's not, don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
It's everybody struggles with different struggles.
Bro, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Was getting late. I know we could probably talk like this for 3 more fucking hours.
Yeah, probably
bro.
till like,
yeah.
most
But
definitely.
my gratitude is to you. Thank you for coming on. And
John,
I like I
appreciate
said,
you.
man, I was
Eric.
not joking
Eric.
when I said
Yes,
that
sir.
I was excited to record this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was excited to come. When you came up to me, I was like, yeah, let's do it.
I always like to give my guest my platform for any final thoughts, man. Do you have a final thought?
Final thought, man.
Or any shout outs?
Not really shout outs, man. Just final thoughts to anybody out there who's listening to this, man. I hope I gave you guys a different perspective of what my love and my passion was about, and kind of incorporate into everyday life on how I treat things, and know that God is number one, family is second, and it's always going to be that way.
That's beautiful, bro. God is always number one, bro.
Always.
It took me forever to realize that, but I'm there now.
But he touched
Yeah.
you. He got you.
Yeah. Eric, you got a final thought?
Man, dude, what a good show. Like I felt like I had the, like, it was like something that I wanted to be a part of. Like I wanted to have the conversations, or listen to the conversation. I caught myself just listening for 30 straight minutes, like, and say a damn word, because so much interesting stuff that's coming out of your mouth.
Appreciate
and
that, man.
I appreciate what you do, getting people that need to be heard. So yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. You blew my mind. I never thought of a fight being a product. Never.
Yeah.
Never thought of pulling the logistics of a fight being a product.
Yeah.
And I grew up, I'm still a diehard fight fan. It's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy how things, it takes that one person to kind of open your eyes to it. Like, that's what I can tell you right now. There's many people that have come across my path that have opened my eyes to different things, and I'm just blessed for it. It's a blessing, brother.
So what you're saying is you like Don King then? Only in America, baby.
Only in America.
Maybe that I don't really like him, but he opened up my eyes to the
Yes.
Because
business.
that motherfucker's known that fights are products since I was a kid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we still didn't know. We still was like, what do you mean you screwed Mike
Mike Tyson
Tyson?
out of $400 million. How did he do that? That's the baddest man on the planet. What you talking about?
Oh, man. Shout out everybody that fucks with me, man. Once again, I'll scream it to the top of my lungs. Cuevas Drive-In, Jimenez and Friends, Mijo's Food Truck, Bubba and Brie Grilled Cheese, like Copper Lounge. I really fuck with them. They fuck with me. And go check them out if you haven't. But, Eric, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you,
John.
Erics.
Appreciate you. Yeah. It's a beautiful name, brother. It's a
Hell
beautiful
yeah,
name.
man. And until next time, guys, read some books.
Cloud City.
Hey yo, JP, tell me what's the deal? Is it real that you got the hottest podcast in the land of the trail? Then tell me what's the deal, because I really need to know it. The way you wanna show it, you rip the shit like a pro. You really should be a poet, like Edgar Allan Poe. You killing shit and they just know it. And thanks to San Juan, I got this drink, I might just pour it. Got me feeling like Don Juan, pimping shit while they hoeing. As far as culture goes, we goated, bitch, and they know it. And I don't like to bloat it, but I know that I'm goated. I know that JP is goated. And this is not a long song, cause the credits are rolling. But I'ma tell you one more time that we fucking goated for real. Best podcast for real. Man, what's the fucking deal, yeah? Like, tell me what's the deal? The best podcast in the West, man, the king